Well, the UK has become the first country in Europe to approve a second COVID-19 vaccine. That's the vaccine that's been developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca. Let's head over to Matthew in the Cube for more.
Well, Isabel, the United Kingdom has just announced its latest COVID-19 measures, placing almost 3/4 of the country's population into the highest T4 restrictions. This after consecutive days of record-high COVID-19 cases since mass testing began back in May. But on Wednesday, Prime Minister Boris Johnson, in the fight against the pandemic, was heralding a British triumph. And that was the news confirmed by the Health Department, and that is that a second COVID-19 vaccine had been approved for emergency distribution in the United Kingdom. This one developed by researchers at Oxford University alongside the British-Swedish pharmaceutical giant AstraZeneca. Now, we've had a bit more information from Health Secretary Man Hancock. Speaking in the House of Commons, he said that this announcement was a victory for all. And on Twitter, he confirmed that the UK had pre-ordered 100 million doses of this vaccine for deployment. The emphasis here that this will be given to those people according to clinical need rather than the ability to pay. So emphasis from the UK that they are trying to give a first dose of this new Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine to as many people as possible. And as you can imagine, there's been a lot of reaction on social media from politicians, medical professionals and UK citizens. And for more on this, I spoke to the president of the Oxford Vaccine Group, Professor Andrew Pollard, and he told me of his joy at this latest announcement.
It's a wonderful moment. I mean, when you look back to the year that we've just had with a huge endeavour scientifically, but also logistically, and with almost 2,000 people working on the trial here in the UK and with our partners in Brazil and South Africa, a huge human endeavour to get us to this point.
Now, in their press release, Oxford University highlighted one of the key advantages of this vaccine, and that is that it can be stored at domestic fridge temperatures between 2 and 8 degrees Celsius. The advantage here being, as Oxford say, that it can be administered in existing healthcare settings, allowing for the vaccine to be deployed rapidly. So this, of course, is the second vaccine approved by the UK after Pfizer-BioNTech. But what about that question of mixing vaccines as you distribute them to the population? Well, this is what Professor Andrew Pollard told me.
All of these vaccines are doing the same thing. They're getting our bodies to make an immune response against spike protein. And so there shouldn't be any biological reason why mixing the vaccines, and we don't mean mixing in the syringe, giving the first dose of one vaccine and the second dose of another vaccine, that should work. There's no reason why it shouldn't. But it hasn't yet been tested. And so from a regulatory point of view, there really ought to be studies to look at that, to give confidence in the safety and also to show that the immune responses are as good as they would be if it was the same vaccine twice.
Well, a recent study conducted by King's College London and Ipsos said that 73% of people in the United Kingdom were likely to take a COVID-19 vaccine in Oxford. And Isabel, people are saying that this is also good news for Europe, with hopes that this Oxford University AstraZeneca vaccine can also be approved for use in the bloc.
New vaccine hopes. Many thanks, Matt.